so I don't forget. I've got about 1 minute, and I'm not sure how many people will join us live. So we'll see. We've got people joining us from all over the country and into England, the Netherlands. I know, I feel like Dirk, I'm trying to recall. I know you're out there in Europe. So it's wonderful. Mom and I keep saying that we're hoping that next year and the following year, we kind of want to go out to Europe and join. We're actually going to Hawaii here shortly. I'm going to ask Mom to unmute. And Mom, if you want to put on your camera, I want to welcome everyone. It's noon, Saturday, April 10th. The month is going by so quickly. My youngest daughter just celebrated her birthday this past week. So I always tend to feel a little bit older when it's one of my kids' birthdays. But let me see something, because I feel like this is unusual that my mom does not have her camera on. So, Mom, if you can hear me, if you can start your video. Oh, perfect. And can you unmute yourself? Thank you. Okay. I'm going to focus on Mom. Okay. I want to go ahead and welcome everyone for joining us. And we're going to be celebrating Mother Earth. We're going to be talking about our seed bundles and making seed bundles, and also using making them in the eggshells. So I did mine in the eggshells, and Mom's going to show us how to do the seed bundles. For Zoom, this is the webinar format. So you're going to notice that you're not going to be able to see anyone else. I really tried to have my mom highlighted for most of it out of respect for her teaching. And you'll notice I will turn mine off. You're welcome to put in the chat button. That's on the bottom it's kind of near the middle. You can type in where you're calling or joining us from. If you do have a question as we're going through, you're welcome to use the chat, or you can put it in the Q&A, and you're going to find that off to the right-hand side. Okay, so you're welcome to do that. We are recording it, and the recording will be sent out tomorrow. It has a unique little passcode attached to it. I found that for me, it's better to type it than copy and paste it, and kind of look for those periods or exclamation points. But if you do have any problem, you can always email us at info@followthegoldenpath.org. And I just added that to the chat section. So you're welcome to email us if you do have a problem. We also create unique handouts that we have one of our volunteers, Jessica, do. Jessica is actually a NICU nurse up in Spokane, Washington. She was my one of my daughter's roommates. So she will send out this unique handout around her workouts, her work schedule. So sometimes it could be right away. Sometimes it could take up to 3 days. But always look for those emails from info@followthegoldenpath.org. You also monthly, if you've attended a webinar, you should also be getting, we like to thank our members. We like to thank the people that have donated. And when you attend a webinar, that's a donation for the path. So you should be receiving these unique handouts too every month. So I hope that you guys are receiving them and enjoying them. And we're really excited. So with that being said, I think that's it for Zoom stuff. And also, I had put on a list of things that you guys could have to participate in this ceremony. please always know that that's just a gentle suggestion. And if you don't have the items, you're getting the recording, so you could do it at another point in time by yourself, or with your friends or anything like that. So we're just really trying to guide you with that. But Mom, we've got people from like Belgium, Virginia, Wisconsin, Florida, Oregon. We've got Grandma Suzanne over here in Boise, Dorset, England, the Netherlands. So we've got people from all around the world, Santa Fe. So that's really sweet that everyone is here. And I think, we're probably going to be together. One of the questions Kate just asked, it's hard to say because my mom moves with spirit, but I'm thinking about an hour and a half if we get all the questions answered. But we never know, but always know that we are sending you the recording. So if at any time you guys have to leave, feel free to do so and know that you're going to get the recording. Okay, Mom, we're all set for opening prayer and super excited. So thank you so much.
Greetings to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm sending so much blessings to everyone. Thank you, dear friends in the Four Directions. Greatly, I'm always touched when we get together and we have so many of you letting us know where you are. Thank you. Today on our Mayan calendar is known as the day of and is the word that translates to the sacred road, the path, our journey from the beginning until the end. Everything that we do that is sacred in our lifetimes. That's our journey. Beloved Creator, beloved grandmothers of the Four Directions, thank you. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful day, beloved Creator. You are the heart of the heavens and the heart of the earth. You are the mother, the father of all creation, beloved. And we are the children of the earth, each and every one of us. You have made us in the image of all of the beautiful flowers on the earth. And we as children, whenever we walk around the earth, move about on our sacred path, on our sacred road, on our sacred journey, beloved Creator, we look upon your eyes as beautiful, beautiful flowers on the earth. This is what you have told us, that we are the living flowers of the earth. Beloved Creator, on this sacred day, I thank you for all of the blessings that you have brought to us in the way that the earth has been taking care of us, feeding us, maintaining us, giving us the nourishment, maintaining and giving us the water. On this earth in which we walk, we send blessings to the spirit of the fire, the grandfather sun, sending blessings to the wind, the spirit of the sacred breath, beloved Creator, and all of the sacred waters around the globe in which the earth sustains and the sky carries, beloved Creator. All of the waters, the sweet, the sour, the bitter, beloved Creator, thank you. Thank you for making us out of all of these sacred elements. All of life is made of these sacred elements. Not one of us is different than the other. We're all the same. Breathing the same air, drinking the same water, walking on the same earth. Breathing the same air, beloved Creator. Again and again and again, each and every one of us, as it moves around the globe, we're always breathing the same air. Beloved Creator, on this sacred day of the path of our sacred journey, we ask for your blessings as we will be speaking about the earth and how to honor the earth, beloved Creator. Come from your sacred doors, beloved Creator, and speak to us about all of these sacred things. Embrace us and hold us in that beautiful way in which you come to us as we pray and ask. In the name of all that is sacred, in the name of all of the beauty that is around us, beloved Creator, Mother, Father, Spirit of our ancestors, of all of our ancestors around the globe. Thank you. Much blessings of love and light to each and every one. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
So, just to share with everybody, I remember some time ago meaning, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years ago, that I was invited and I joined Chief Arbel Lookenhorse to travel with him because he had received a vision, and the vision was called Peace and Prayer Day. And this particular vision he took all over the world. And so I had the honor of traveling with him and his family to Japan, to Mount Fuji. This is where we did ceremony. Also, we went to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. One of the things that that happens sometimes is that I start to receive instructions and messages on different things to do. And one of the things that I was told to do is to go to the lake in Los Alamos and bring some water. And after I brought the water home, this is in Los Alamos where the bomb was made that was sent to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And we then received message that some of the Shinto priests were going to do water ceremony for peace. And so I wrote to Japan and I asked for permission. And I explained that I had been told by spirit to go to the lake in Los Alamos and to retrieve some water and to bring it to Japan. And I asked if I might be able to bring that water for the water ceremony. And of course I received a yes. But I also want to share with everybody that when we receive a mandate, when we are told to do something, and we shouldn't be making excuses, like as humans, we do that. And I'm one to say I have done that. I've, gone back and forth and I not argue, but, get into the conversation with spirit, like what? I can't get into Los Alamos. I don't work there. There are guards there. There's this whole thing that the mind tells us, but, we received the mandate and we follow the directions. And so I waited for the proper day. And what I mean by that is when I felt that it was correct to go up there. And let me just say to everybody, it's not the kind of place that's open for the public. So I drove up to Los Alamos. I drove up to the laboratory out there. I was asked, what was I doing there? What did I want? I remember kind of being very vague and saying to the person, it was a guy, just saying, I'm here to pick up some water from the lake. And it was like, okay, you just go down the road over here and the lake is on your left side, hand side. And so I drove a little bit and it was kind of like a little park. And there was somebody else there. And the person said to me, what are you looking for? What do you want? Something like that. But, they just wanted to know what was I doing there. And I said that I'm here with permission to pray at the lake and take a little bottle of water from the lake. And so I did that. And I didn't think too much of it until after that I came home and I explained to my husband that I had been on the grounds of Los Alamos and I went to the lake and picked up some water. And I was reminded on just the whole sacredness of it, of that when we follow instructions from spirit, the way that the road and the doors open. And so I was meant to be there at that particular time. I was meant to get the water. And I personally was meant to bring it to Japan. So, so the reason that I am sharing this story with you is that I remember Arvel sharing with everybody the vision that he had received from Spirit to travel around the globe and to bring peace and to pray. And so this was an incredible, incredible journey in Japan. And the ceremonies that were done were so absolutely incredible. We could spend many, many days talking about this, but I'm going to tell you about the next time that I was invited for Peace and Prayer Day was a journey to South Africa, and we visited Durban. And we were invited by the granddaughter, or Arvel was, and the group was invited by the granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi. And she invited us and brought us to his museum, Mahatma Gandhi's museum. And there, in that trip, we planted some living trees in the name of peace. But one of the things that I remember that it is so vivid in my mind when we were in South Africa, there was kind of like a parade that was in honor of Chief Arvel Lookenhorse coming to Southern Africa. And he was dressed in his white buckskin, and he had his headdress with all the feathers. And someone had a white horse for him. And it was the first time that I actually had seen anything like that. What that means is a Native American, North American chief dressed in regalia outside of the United States. And he started to march, with his horse. And it looked like a dream. It was just so surreal and beautiful and so almost to the point that it just kind of stopped you, because I remember that we were walking, those that were invited, and I remember people and children especially coming like from the hillside, just running to see Arvel in his white horse. In 2014, I had the blessings of seeing Arvel and his wife, Paula. And I remember saying to Arvel that was the most incredible moment to see that, to watch him, ride this enormous white stallion, because Arvel is a really tall guy. He must be like 6'4". So he had this like enormous, white horse that he rode, and it was like a dream. It was just like something that like you were in a dream. And I remember all the children and everyone was so happy, and everybody was running and everybody was screaming, and he was bringing everybody to do ceremony, to do prayer. I remember all of the blessings that happen in South Africa. So I had the opportunity to be there in those days. And the other celebration of Mother Earth, I remember that I had traveled with Don Alejandro, and something was going on in the United Nations. It was some prayers for the earth that was going on. And one of the things that they gave everybody, and I'm going to share with you here, and I'm going to try to hold it, was this beautiful, beautiful baby girl with the light. So I have these sweet memories, and then I have this tangible photo of the little baby girl reminding us to stay in the light. I often think about in my travels, the things that I have seen on how the earth, how polluted it is. I remember at times thinking about the journey of the waters, the rivers being dry in a lifetime. It seems like almost like an impossible dream in my lifetime to remember of all of these beautiful things that that I have seen, and now they are non-existent now. I believe that these days, what brings to my heart a lot of pleasure is to be able to make these seed bundles that I make. And so I want to share with you the vision that I had about the seed bundles. This is after I was told, I was given a mandate to bring people to New Mexico. Remember, I was saying that there's a part of Flordemayo that, will ask spirit,
Mom, I just want to interrupt you for one moment. So I think you moved something near your microphone on your computer, maybe a piece of paper.
I'm getting the papers ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Because it kind of went over the top of it. So, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So my hand is on these papers that I'm going to show you how to do these little bundles. But of course, my computer is super sensitive. It was like maybe 10 years ago that I was awakened by spirit and given a mandate to bring people to New Mexico. It took a while for me to understand what exactly that meant. But what I did was that I kept the mandate in my prayers every day. And the day came, I received the mandate on January 5th, and on May 5th, I received a phone call at 6 o'clock in the morning to come and get keys to the land that have to belong to Heather and her husband at the time. And this piece of land is the 40 acres. And so I went down there to pick up the keys, and I had the opportunity after the family left, where I was alone at the 40 acres. And I started to look around me at the space, because it's much bigger than where I live, my house. And so I started to pray and started to talk to Spirit. And I asked, is this where you want me to bring the people to New Mexico? And I waited for an answer. Before I knew it, there was this beautiful, beautiful, undescribable sensation that I felt. And what I felt was a kiss on my cheek from an invisible being. If you can just imagine someone kissing you, and there's no one there, but it felt like a little bit of wind came and gave me a kiss. And so with that, I made a commitment. And my commitment was that I'm going to pray and I'm going to wait for a vision. And so the vision goes like this. I see myself in a building that, it's actually a building that is built in the future. And in the building, I'm sitting in a little rocking chair, which looks very similar to a rocking chair that I have that belonged to my mom. And I was told through the invisible voice to make these bundles. And I'm going to make one out of cloth. And here's my little square. And the seeds that I'm going to use, I'm going to show you this. These are beans. And these are sunflowers. And this is the rainbow corn. In the bundles, I was told by our seed keeper that we should have at least 3, if not a little bit more, of each of the seeds, because this way it gives the seeds a chance. Let's say that a few of them are not going to, germinate, sprout. So here's my little bundle. And I want to share with everybody that to make my life a little simple, I have these tiny, tiny little rubber bands that are like for children, for the hair. And what I do is that I tie it like this. I do like 3 little ties. Now,
Are you saying a prayer? Mom, when you do that?
Of course. I mean, when you are in the privacy of your home, you do the prayer. We can't do anything without prayer, okay? And you put your intentions in the prayer. And of course, yeah, we do that. I am showing you in the cloth how to do this. The reason that I put the rubber band and the reason that I do the cloth is because it makes it easier for a little child to carry. Plus, when I do it with the rubber band, I watched many children take these little bundles apart. And I tried to figure out many different ways to do them, okay? So other than doing it like this, I also have tissue paper, and we're gonna put some seeds in the tissue paper, more than 3 seeds. And here we are, okay? Here's the one bundle. And the paper, you just tighten it in a way, okay, so that it stays. And there you go. This can actually be planted. What the seed bundles that I'm doing is the 3 sisters. And the reason they're called the 3 sisters is that they help each other. You
The
know, one,
beans, the three sisters is the beans, the squash, and the corn. And
yeah,
for today's one, Mom's got her sunflower seeds. But I think the other thing I just want to fill in is that Mom was guided with these seed bundles in the cloth. You give them as gifts. So often, if you find us at like an in-person event, you'll see Mom giving these out. And within those seed bundles, besides her prayer, are those 3 sisters. So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. And for us today, for our ceremony, what we're doing is we're showing you how to do it with either to make them like bundles like Mom does to gift, or to put them in the tissue paper, or her next option here that can go directly into the earth. So I just wanted to differentiate that.
so the paper bundles, you can just put that directly into the earth, okay? And the cloth is to carry, exactly. So here's my little brown paper bag, square, and I'm gonna put the seeds in there right now. And here we go. We just kind of bring it together like that. And we seal it by just turning it. Okay, and here we go.
I love that. So before somebody's starting, Mom, and they have their seeds from either their local seed bank, or maybe they've saved them or something like that, is there a process to bless those seeds that you like to do that you think is important?
Okay, so what I was told in the vision, and this is an answer to your question, but in order for me to answer it, I got to give you the rest of the story.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But prayer, you have to remember that prayer is very individual, okay? We as humans have many, many different reasons of making these bundles. Let's say, for example, okay, I'm just going to share with everybody. Let's say, for example, I have a container here with just flower seeds. And in this little bag, I have these sweet little seeds, these little black seeds. They're morning glories, okay? And I'm going to add them to these bundle here, this container of flower seeds. And I'm finding out, everybody, that growing flowers is a beautiful thing, because you can grow them all year long if you have a little window in your home. Okay, even if what you have is a skylight in your bathroom, you can grow them in your bathroom in a pot of soil. The beautiful thing about these morning glories is that these little flowers, they bloom when the sun comes out, and then they go to sleep when the sun goes down. There's another flower that you can also plant with that. They're called moonflowers. And these little flowers, they bloom at night, and then they close when the sun goes down. So there's like all this beautiful thing that you can do with flowers also. And I had a neighbor that introduced me to these flower plants. So here, let's go back to the story of the vision. So I was told in the vision, as I was looking at myself sitting in the rocking chair, I was told to make bundles, and I saw myself, just kind of rocking back and forth, and I was making little bundles like this. And I remember putting the seeds in there, and just, I don't know if I saw myself, tying them. I could have been tying them with a little thread, which I did that in the beginning. I took a little bit of thread and tied them. As I was making them, I was told by the beloved mother, by the invisible beings, that when I make these bundles, and this should be the prayer in answer to your question, Heather, this should be the prayer. And what the beloved mother said to me is, make these bundles for the children that are going to be born. In other words, the children that are coming. Tell the parents that these seeds are living seed children, that they need to be taken care of like human children. And so we can put a little prayer together around all of that, because every time you plant something, these seeds will give you seeds. Whether it's food, whether it's flowers, it will give you seeds for the following year. And so it keeps regenerating year after year, season after season. And before you know it, you have a nice collection of flower seeds or other seeds that you might be growing. This is the beauty of organic stuff, that you will receive seeds the following year. So we can, as everybody listening, put that mandate into a prayer.
So I've heard you speak of, Mom, that like, and I forgive me if I put this out of context, but the seeds, when you've planted them or eaten them, or they bring forth like the light. Isn't that how you kind of said they have this light within them? You had
Well,
this beautiful story that I just found so profound.
everything that is organic, okay? Everything that's organic has this light. It's made of light. It also has a light body, just like us humans. These organic little seeds have light. And we, as humans, need this because light feeds light. And so we have an obligation as humanity to take care of these living, breathing seed children for the future generations. And that's the mandate, that we conserve them, preserve them, take care of them, that every child that is being born should be born with a seed bundle. Of course, the child is told that this is life, but I was also reminded, tell the parents, because sometimes as parents, we forget. But it is the parents' responsibility to teach the child, and to teach the child to honor this life for the future, and to encourage the child to grow these seeds, to take care of them. And that is the whole essence of us taking care of the earth. Because it isn't just these little seeds. It's not just that. It's all of life. Is the grasses, it's the water, it's the soil, it's taking care of the mountains, taking care of all of the living trees, taking care of all these things, taking care of everything. If we don't do that, if we don't take care of everything that is around us, we're not going to have these things for the future generations. And if the children are not taught right now, and I've been talking about this, and anybody that knows me, when I get into talking, you know how passionate I get, with my words and my emotions, and I start to cry, just begging people to do that, because it's essential that we do that. You can get seeds from many organic places. All you have to do is Google seeds, organic seeds. The seeds that I have right now have been given to me by the seed keeper, and I'm just going to show you the way that they are given to me are in these plastic bags, and from here I make my bundles. Of course, I have many of these bags to make the bundles, but he has separated them for me. Greg did.
Well, in the seed temple too, we have them in the glass containers, which
Yeah,
I'll show some pictures of that. But the other idea that we had for today, with your permission, Mom, is to show, I wanted to show them how to do it with the eggshells, which
Yeah.
is what I did on my end. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
hold on, I'm gonna add a spotlight. So we did ours with my husband and I would say my husband is more gifted, and we're over here in Idaho. And then my best friend has little chickens, so I get fresh eggs every day from my best friend. But I used the eggshells that we had, and I have soil in there. So I used a half an eggshell, and you just want to use your pencil to make a little hole, like a little divot in there, to stick your seed in. So I don't know that you can really see, but you're just going to make like a little hole. It's, what I did is we had breakfast, we made some eggs, I washed them, dried them up, air dried the little shells. They were cracked in half. But then a week ago, I'm so excited. I planted my little bean. You can see him. So he's going to go, and I have a few more that are sprouting. I have another one that he's pushed the seed up, the little bean. You can see him off to the right. So he's about to pop. And then my husband, he's going to put him in the soil and just crush up the eggshell. So when he's ready, he's going to put those in. We still have a little snow on the mountains here, so we don't tend to start our garden until the beginning of May. So this is another easy way. My grandchildren are actually in my mom's great grandchildren. They're doing them in their eggshells too, because our one of the aunties in Hawaii has chickens. So the kids are so excited to see their little bean. I was so excited this morning to see it just popped overnight. So it was kind of sweet. So I just wanted to
it's very exciting, to see life, to see the magic of life, especially if you're sharing it with little children. But it's exciting at any age.
I think so.
Whether we're 50 or 80. Yeah.
I think so. And I could, Mom, with your permission, I can show them on the website too, the little seed bundles and the seed temple. Would that be okay with you?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, so hold on a minute. Let me get this up. Let me know, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is our, many of you have been to our website, but these right here in the middle picture, those are the seed bundles, and you can kind of see the gold little thread. So that's, and when you guys visit the path in the seed temple, that's in essence what it is. And, there's this, at your leisure, go take a look at why all this information, and feel free to share it. But you can look at all the different types of seeds. We have them all photographed. So that's all our corn seeds right there. So it's pretty fascinating. We really, and Mom and I by no means are, seed experts or anything like that. We rely on our seed keepers. Right now we have Leanne Hill, who's actually the executive director of our of the Rocky Mountain Seed Alliance, is our seed. But look at how beautiful they are, the beans.
I want to show everybody. You see the Flordemayo beans there? Right there, they're in the center.
Right here. Yep.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. I grew those, and that's the name of them. They're Flordemayo beans. They're from Mexico. And I was very successful 2 years in a row, and we have those beans and in the seed temple, but they're very yummy, tiny, little beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think, well, mine's a pinto bean that I planted from Estancia over there. So it's kind of a sweet little thing. If you ever are wondering, with these webinars or being a member, this is what, it does. It helps us, we've got it all cataloged. We've got our grain seeds, so each of you today, that's what you've done is you've helped sustain all these seeds. We don't sell the seeds. They're given to people to grow them out and then gift them back to replenish it. So that's how that works. But I just wanted to share that. Is there anything else on the website, Mom, that you want me to share?
No, one of the things that I wanted to share, these red bundles with gold.
Oh, let me go back. Okay, one moment, sorry. Okay.
Those bundles were done by the Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers. Whenever I got together with the different grandmother groups, we would get together and do bundles. And this is a beautiful way of displaying them. They were all, that's what we had at the time, was red cloth with gold string. And so that I remember those very well. And I remember the grandmothers working on them. Of course, this I believe was done for the gathering that was done in Arizona called the in the name of the mother. Yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah. So I could look at the different bundles and I know when they were done, but of course we don't have any of those there. All of them were given away. Other than speaking about the vision, I wanted to also share with everybody that in the Mayan calendar, there is the day of Ish. I want to talk a little bit of, and it comes every 20 days, the day of Ish, and the day of Ish is known as the spirit of the feminine. And the spirit of the feminine is our journey as men and women and children, our journey in being in balance with nature. And it's an incredible journey, because many times we are put in situations where there's no place for recycling and and all the different things, the choices that we have to make as far as the things that we use, the utensils, the containers, the drinking cups, all kinds of stuff. We have to make conscious decisions on how to make less
Of a carbon footprint.
yeah, basically, yeah. And so it's an incredible journey. So we're talking about these things right now, is for us to be mindful, even more mindful. I know in the old days of myself in Central America, the food was served in gourds and was served in banana leaves, and the reason that it was served like that is because it was cooked in banana leaves, and you're kind of wondering, how was that done like that? I'm going to step away from my seat and I'm going to show you a little one. I have a tiny little image of this food that is our native food in Central America, and it's even tied with the banana leaf. I'm going to bring it, but it's, of course, it's like a work of art, but it's like this miniature. Hold on a minute. Look at how
That's the cutest. Well, and it looks like, I have to tell you, it reminds me a lot of our family. My daughter's married to a native Hawaiian, and I would say that their culture does a really good job um, of that as well. That is the sweetest thing, Mom. I feel like I feel like every time we're on a webinar with your show and tell, I feel like so like the star beings must be gifting you in sleep, because as many times and as much time as I spend with you, I've never seen that. Like in every webinar, she pulls something out and I'm like, I've never seen that.
yeah, and you probably have never eaten this type of food where it's actually wrapped in banana leaf, okay, tied in banana leaf, and it's put in the pot to cook and boil. And so you might have when you open it up, you open it up like a plate, you kind of tuck the leaves underneath, and you might have, let's say, for example, some rice, some beans, and then the main meal, which is made out of cornmeal, and it'll have some meat and some other things, but it's like really, really yummy, and it's our traditional food.
You're gonna then now you're reminding me of how much Caleb loves his tamales that his grandma and his mom. I remember his grandma was like 102 when she passed, but she was still making tamales.
Yeah, yeah. So this is kind of like the tamale concept, but this is like really big. It's like a whole meal.
Yeah.
And this beautiful piece of art is really made out of wood. And it has, the little tie is just this little fiber. But I bought it in the market. Somebody was making them. And so I have it in my altar.
I love that. But I think it's pretty funny because and anyone that knows my mom and I speak to my mom probably at least a couple times a day, right, Mom? I mean, we talk all the time. And then now it's safe because we both have for us to travel again to see each other because we're vaccinated. But we're pretty excited because every time I go visit my mom, I go into she's got a healing room at her house. She's got one, many at the path, and all these things that she kind of pulls out. I've never seen half of them. So it makes me want to go. It's like a treasure chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except it's your whole house. But let's see if we have time. We'll ask a couple questions and I'll ask you a couple. We have one from Danielle. If you do have a question, you can type it in the chat or you could type it in the Q&A. But Danielle's asking just a practical question about the cloth bundle going directly into the ground. No, so one of the things I would say, Danielle, is the cloth are more for those gifting ceremonies. If you wanted to make them for somebody that had a baby, but the ones in the eggshell, you could put into the ground.
And I wanted to show everybody that the cloth, you see this little square cloth? I have like a bunch of different cloth over here, but it doesn't stop there. Let me show you this. Look at this. So where I get this cloth are your neighbors that are working on quilts, or there is a company on the internet that my husband ordered from, and I got all of the multicolored. Now these red and the black ones, these are like the tobacco ties. Also, one of the grandmothers gave me these to make seed bundles to give away. So, you know, just collect the different cloth that you need. And the beauty of this, you know, company, look at all the different types of material that you have in here. They're just unbelievable, and children love the variety. So they're from quilts. And I started off in the beginning asking my neighbor for a quilting cloth, but I used what everybody had in town already. So I had to start looking outside, and so I ordered some of that. Yeah. But it's only for gifting. It's only for the travel, for the children to travel, take it home, and then they take the seeds out and plant them.
And, you know, the ones in the eggshell, if you decide to start your seed in those, just break up the seed shell to make it easier for the roots when you put it in the soil or into your pot that you're going to keep on your windowsill. We try to, especially now during the pandemic, make things easy or elderly friendly, I would say. And the other option with the one in the paper or the tissue paper, you know, just moisten those before you stick it in the earth. You know, those would be the things to make it really easy. But it's a really simple little ceremony to honor the earth, to be mindful of those elements, you know. I think it's really sweet. I know one of the stories that you share, Mom, is when you go back home to Nicaragua, is seeing you used to play near the river and then it's all dried up now, right?
Yeah, it's a rock bed. Yeah. And I do have a rock from the river that, you know, for my show and tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Susan asked, do the parents plant the seed bundle or keep it?
No, the parents plant them. Everybody plants them.
Yeah.
And you want to teach the child about it. You know, you want to talk about the vision, and you want to remind them how important it is, and how these seeds, these seeds are also children. These are living. This is life.
Yeah. And, you know, I do think I would agree, you know, one thing that that my mom does, you know, whenever you guys have a chance to upcycle or recycle, many of my mom's, you know, dresses, everything that my aunt sews for her, because this is a question from Kathy and G over there in Oregon, is maybe to lessen your carbon footprint. If you want to make these bundles, maybe using pieces of an old shirt or sheet or other item, that's absolutely, we would totally agree with that.
Yeah.
When we're doing events, the reason why we use those little squares, you know, and even we get a lot of materials sent to us that somebody's used on a project and they no longer want to use. But, you know, one of the things my mom does is she wears a lot of, I'm going to say, old tablecloths, really old, they're literally old tablecloths. We go to antique stores and we buy material, sheets, old tablecloths. We send them to my Aunt Esperanza, and then she makes them into these beautiful dresses. So I think whenever given the opportunity to upcycle something, probably other sweet ones would be to make them in the old handkerchiefs. that the women used to carry with the needle point and stuff. Those would be sweet too, to gift to somebody.
Yeah,
And then you can
make those
reuse.
into bundles. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And there's also a lot of children's handkerchiefs in the antique store. They're smaller, you know.
yeah. So that would be it, but we do want to say that anytime you can upcycle, recycle, that is something that we completely agree with. Absolutely. If you have, other questions, feel free to send them in for Mom. The other thing that I was thinking about with Earth Day, I know, Mom, sometimes we've done like ceremonies where we've asked people to bring their water. And then, just speaking about another element from Mother Earth, we've asked people to bring their sacred water, and then we've combined them all together, and they're almost like imprinted with all that collection of, water. That would be another easy way I think people could do to honor the element for water. It reminds me kind of when we talk about our crystal skulls being imprinted.
Yeah, and here's my container of water. I have it in a plastic container because it's easier for me to carry it. I do have a glass container that has a little spray adapter, and some of that I can just gently spray on my hands and bless myself. We can bless ourselves with soil. We can bless ourselves with ashes from fire ceremonies. So just, find a way. I've given everybody a lot of different ideas throughout the year since we started, doing these talks. But find the way.
Yeah. Let me see if there's so we have another question from Susan. So wait to give the seeds when the new baby is older, or is there a special time, Mom, that you were guided? I think it would also have to do with where the people live and how they're going to grow the seeds.
You know what, Heather? That's not any of my concern. I'm going to tell everybody. It's not for me to say, because they might be, living in a treehouse at the moment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can grow seeds anywhere. Like I said, you can grow them anywhere. I'm going to tell everybody the message again, okay? Give the bundles to the newborn babies. You give them the bundle to the newborn babies. Some of the moms ask for the bundles because they're pregnant already. Okay? Tell the parents that these seeds are children, like the human children. They need to be taken care of like the human children. So in other words, it's life. We have to take care of them.
Mm-hmm. That's really sweet. Grandma Suzanne over here in Boise was just mentioning that she loves the seed bundle presentation, and she wants to send you some zinnia, marigold, and poppy seeds.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I remember when we went to visit our Grandma Suzanne and over at the farm, and there was I think I posted the picture today. It came up on my memories of the big, beautiful red poppy seed plant.
Beautiful. Thank you, Grandma. Yes. Yes, we will add them to the flower bundles. And I've been making these bundles for grandmas. And so I will send you a bundle of my flowers. Okay.
Yeah. And, I'm trying to think of a couple things. When I think of it, let me just go back to the sharing the screen here on our website, because if you go to it, let's say you're like Grandma Suzanne or Jean Kathy or somebody, and you have some seeds that you want to send us, right here on, this is our followthegoldenpath.org. I'm going to bring you to the home. And what I did is I went to the different temples, because the seed temple is just one of 6 temples that we have at the 40 acres. And the seed temple, if you just scroll down, it goes down to the very bottom, I think is where, here it is. If you want to send, if you want to volunteer to grow some seeds, or you want to donate some seeds, and we are upgrading this, all you need to do is print this out, tell us about your seeds, and send it in. And we're always receiving seeds, you know. Here's the guidelines for donating seeds right here. And then if you want to volunteer to grow some seeds. So it's really an easy little process for us to do that. So I think, is there anything else you want to share about that, Mom? I feel like we've come a long way since your vision and how we collect the seeds and share the seeds and talking about the seeds.
It's an incredible, it has been an incredible journey. Is you know, it's 10 years now. But you know, we can't do it without you, you know, without you growing, without you sending seeds. It just can't be done. You know, because I can only grow small amounts, you know. I live in the desert, you know, I'm dependent on the weather here. We have extreme weather, you know. When the sun is hot, it's hot. And when the wind blows, it's blowing really, really hard. We do have extreme weather, and we also have frost and snow in the winter time. So it's not like we can grow all the time, but I do grow some beautiful little pots of flowers, and
Well,
that to me is bringing a lot of joy.
well, last year too, you grew an 800-year-old squash bean, and the plant, I'm gonna, on the handout that you guys get, I'm gonna make sure that everyone sees the picture. So we didn't know if this 800-year-old seed was gonna grow, but it grew. Of course it was gonna grow, but it grew, and it was like the biggest thing I've ever seen.
It took over the yard. Yeah, you don't have any pictures to show them?
Well, I'll have to, what I'll do is I'll look for that. I should have brought it up before, but
Yeah,
hold on, I'll take a look for it.
the squash was like a baby human. It was like 9 pounds.
Well, and the other thing before we go to prayer or meditation to close this out, I do want to mention, and I'm going to look while we're doing this, and maybe while you're in prayer, I'll pull it up. But I did want to mention to everyone a couple exciting things, and just to be mindful of. We are recording this. You will get a handout. The recording is sent by Zoom tomorrow. The handout, our volunteer will send out, Jessica, and she's a NICU nurse, and I know she's on duty for the next couple days. So I would imagine Tuesday or Wednesday, you should be able to get that. Whenever you attend one of these webinars too, that is a donation to the path. So you should be getting also monthly emails from info@followthegoldenpath.org. Okay. And the other exciting thing is Mom and I are going to Hawaii in June. So we're pretty excited about that. So reach out to us if you are on the Big Island. We're going to go visit family and grandkids and great grandkids. And the other thing that I'm also going to include, Mom, is, you know, Mom and I, we just started a fundraiser for Unchi. And I do want to, I'm going to put the link in the chat button here. And Mom, can you tell us a little bit about Unchi and what we're doing the fundraiser for Unchi and everything like that? I would appreciate that. And I'm going to put the link in there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, at this moment, Unchi, she is going to be 96 in May. The middle of May, she's going to be 96. She lives, of course, in South Dakota in the reservation at Pine Ridge. And she has explained to me that the roads where she lives is, they're very, very difficult. And when there is rain and snow, it becomes very muddy. When it dries, it'll dry in a way that it's hard on the vehicles. They have 2 used cars that are like 20 years old each. And they just keep breaking down. And 2 months ago, both of them just totally broke down. And they have been in the garage. Last week, her son, Nathan, blind man, went and got the truck out, but it got as far as a couple of blocks and then it broke down again. And so they have been just having difficult situation. And so Unchi I had spoken to her on the phone, and she asked Heather and I through an email that Nathan sent, asking us and the path, because you have to have a nonprofit to
Well,
help.
I'm going to clarify. This particular donation is through GoFundMe, and it's not through the path. Okay, so I do want to differentiate that your donations to the path are nonprofit, tax deductible. This is just giving from the heart. This is on GoFundMe. So I do want to clarify that.
But you do have to be a 501c3 to do a GoFundMe? No?
No, it's just because I had the profile and had everything set up. So that's what she needed, is somebody to manage it. And I think the bottom line is that they have no car. I put the link in there. I'm not asking everyone to donate. Even if you share it, that helps. We've already sent them like close to $4,000, and 100% of the GoFundMe goes to Unchi Rita to help her get a used 4-wheel drive truck. They don't want anything fancy. They want a used, reliable truck so that she, as a 96-year-old woman, is no longer hitchhiking with her son out of the reservation.
Well, it's not
Or getting rides.
So much hitchhiking, but it's you have to get a ride. You have to call somebody, can you take me here and there? It's a difficult situation. And they have written all of the scriptures in that GoFundMe. So take a look at it. I want to say that when the grandmothers came together, the first night that we were together, Grandma Beatrice and Unchi Rita were my roommates, like in the next room.
Well, and you guys are like schoolgirls together.
It was pretty comical. And I remember that I woke up at the crack of dawn. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was getting ready to go brush my teeth and take a shower and all of that. And in the hallway, I bump into Unchi Rita and Grandma Beatrice, and they were on their way to do the same thing. And it was a very sweet meeting, because we kind of found out that we're early birds, And so we looked at each other and we started to laugh because it was comical. We're just, we're up and getting ready to do something that morning, getting ready for prayer. It was really, really a beautiful meeting. And I remember the laughter and all of that good time that we had. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, so I did, put that in there for everyone. I think that's all the, oh, Shelby's asking, do you have any spiritual books, or do you have those seed books or some other books that you would recommend for people? And I know you're reading a couple of the curandera books from Cheo, and you have Braiding the Sweetgrass book over there, Mom?
No, you have it. You have the
Okay.
braiding of the sweetgrass. I want to share these seed books, everybody. And they are forward by Vandana Shiva. And many, many people of prayer have written on them. And this one here, I think this is the one that has, this is information, something that I wrote. This is,
With the little squash blossom.
yeah.
So it's called Visions of the Living Seed. And who's that by, Mom?
I had to put on my, we'll send you the information, okay? Because
On the handout. What's the
Right.
other book, Mom?
And the other book is called The Sacred Seed.
That's they're both beautiful books.
Yeah, they have beautiful, beautiful photographs. And this is the one that was, this was written by Diana Longboat
Yep. Who we just had a webinar that was incredible.
last week, a couple of weeks ago. And so, I mean, they're just really, really beautiful photographs, just beautiful, beautiful seed books. They're so beautiful that I have them sitting like this on my shelf so that, you can see the photographs.
Is there any other spiritual book that you would recommend that comes to mind that you're enjoying right now or a go-to?
Well, there's this tiny little book.
A seed. Oh, and again, I have never seen this, and I see everything at my mom. I think things materialize the night before our webinars. That's sweet, Mom.
And it's really a sweet, sweet little book with, just little tiny little sketches in there.
And
Just,
little quotes or,
well,
oh,
it's a little story,
oh,
but it's really, really very sweet.
oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Do you want to, I don't think we have, there's a couple books that also were recommended by people in the audience, The Seed and Garden from the Seed Savers Exchange and Seed to Seed by Suzanne Ashworth. So those would be beautiful. So thank you if you know any others, feel free to put in the chat. And then I guess we don't have too many questions. So I think any last words of wisdom on Earth Day. And I know one of the things that you always say is that Earth Day should be every day, not just one day in April. That
Yeah. We should really honor the, not only the earth, but all of the sacred elements and remind the family and remind the children and walk your talk, walk your talk. Yeah, do the right thing. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll let you close us out with a prayer, and then at the end, I'll show our little path video.
Beloved Creator, beloved Mother, thank you. Thank you for the beauty. Thank you for the light. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for the messages. Thank you for the memories, reminding the parents, reminding the children on how to honor and take care of the seeds, that the seeds are also children. They are seed children, and these seeds need to be taken care of, just the way that we take care of children. Thank you, beloved Creator. What sweet, sweet memory, what sweet thought and vision to think of all of the children being born around the globe, that they should be born with a seed bundle. It's a beautiful, beautiful image. Thank you, beloved Creator. My prayer is that everyone hears this prayer and that both men and women make seed bundles to give away wherever they go. All seeds. I pray for the sacred waters, beloved Creator. I pray for the sacred fire, grandfather's son. I pray for the spirit of the wind, the air, the breath. I pray for all life, beloved Creator. All life on earth. And this beautiful, beautiful moment that we are alive, that we can see into the future, and that we have memories of the past, that at this present time, that we think of the future generations, beloved Creator. In the name of the children of the future, beloved beauty, in the name of the seeds of the future, beloved Creator, I thank you. Much love and light to everyone. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, Mom. I'm going to show our little video, and I do want to let everyone know I did put links also to some upcoming webinars. We have my mom, my brother, and I, and my brother does the astrology and knows a lot about moons. So that's going to be a fun one we have coming up. We're going to do another one with our crystal skulls, or crystal dragons, or your crystals, if you want to join us for that in May. And then we're going to have one on a living and dying, a spiritual class, and a curandera class. And I included our email and everything, so you'll see that in the chat. But I'm going to go ahead and do the screen sharing, and we'll watch our little video. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Can you see it, Mom?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to make it bigger. Okay.
The path is a word that is very much of us. We have images of footprints throughout the beginning of life. And the footprints, it is really translates to what we leave here. And the path is the sacred walk that you do between ourselves and our Creator. The mediator is the spirit of the wind. The mediator is the spirit of the water. What I know is what the earth says to me, what the wind says to me, what the birds say to me, what the rocks say to me, what all of nature speaks to me. So I am the listening ear, and the one that delivers that message.
The Path is a nonprofit, and our vision is to bring awareness about seed preservation. A lot of times you'll see my mom go to events and she makes little seed bundles, and it's got a seed of corn, squash, and bean. But I think it gets people thinking about where their food comes from. Just like animals, if the seeds die, they're gone forever. They're just extinct. And I think it's bringing this awareness, and my mom tries to weave that into her spiritual events and the mandate that she received, welcoming people to the path.
We've had many, many, many volunteers, very, very dear, dear people that came and gave of their time when they heard the vision. And this is only done because of volunteers. We have seed keepers. We have professional people with over 35 years experience of seed growing. We have people that are experienced in soil over 30, 40 years.
We work with a lot of other organizations or seed keepers that keep these collections. We work with the Rocky Mountain Seed Alliance, we work with the Pueblo and Sisuke, and then many people have a collection of seeds. We store them in the seed temple. It's down underground. There's a full basement, and you got to keep the seeds viable, so they have to stay at that certain temperature and humidity. And we're just there to help organizations or help people and keep those for future generations.
The land here is known as the 40 acres. And so this whole place here has only been created through the guidance of spirit. When you walk and you come through that gate, it is the door of transformation. It's a place of growth. We have to honor the heart of the earth and the heart of the heavens.
A lot of times we'll do open houses, or we collected a whole bunch of grandmothers and wisdom keepers and elders, and we weave together an event, a weekend around spirituality, but we also talk about seed preservation. So I think that her prayer, it kind of ripples out, and I think she also helps let people know that these answers are really within us, that you hopefully leave with empowerment and a sense of love and peace.
My mission here is to love God, because I'm constantly in a state of prayer, surrender, prayer, surrender, prayer, surrender. I just keep on moving. I keep walking on my sacred path, and it doesn't matter what happens on a daily basis. I just have to keep moving. Nothing can stop me. Not words, not actions. Even if a boulder comes in front of me, I will go through it, because I am not of this physical body. I experience who I am in the light, and I will just keep moving. And we have to start thinking that way. We are at the crossroads of humanity right now, and we have to listen. And that's why we have to honor all of nature and take care of it.
I think I tear up every time I watch that. So we want to thank everyone so much, and just send all our blessings. There'll be a couple, I think, free events coming up. We have one with the Grandmothers of the Sacred We coming up later this month, honoring Earth Day. And we have one with Ghost Ranch, who just came and filmed you as well. So that'll be really sweet. So thank you so much. Anything else, Mom?
Didn't I do a recording with the Shift Network for the children?
Well, we did that for the Conscious Kids Summit that they're starting coming up, which was really a really sweet little thing. And, you know, one thing to always keep in mind with the Shift Network and any of these events that we do, if there is a charge, and there should always be room for a scholarship. You know, we try to balance out free events, but if you ever see a Shift Network course that we're doing or something like that, always keep in mind just email them. And they do offer a lot of scholarships. And, one thing that the Shift Network, why we always like to support them, is they in turn support us with our membership by offering one of Mom's courses that she did. I think it was a 7-week course. And we give that to our members that donate monthly, $10 or more. And you get a 7-week course with Mom that you get to watch. So, and we love the Shift Network and everyone that we do work with. So anything else? I think that, thanks for reminding me. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And you had fun with the Ghost Ranch coming to visit and film you.
Yeah.
We hope to next year, we're going to have an in-person event up there at Ghost Ranch. And Ghost Ranch is where Georgia O'Keeffe lived and did her paintings. And it really looks like you're in a Georgia O'Keeffe. I feel like whenever I'm up there in Abiquiu, you're in a Georgia O'Keeffe painting. It's just simply beautiful. And I do want to say, we had somebody donate land to us that I just received the information yesterday in the mail. We had somebody donate a few acres up there in Chama to the path. So
it's going to be fun to grow things up there.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And, we're just so blessed that you guys spend your time with us. And to those of you that didn't attend in person, but are watching it at your leisure, thank you. And many blessings of love and light. It really touches mine and my mom's heart. So we're really blessed for all of you guys. So thank you so much. Love and light to everyone. Many blessings.
Thank you.